So, reverting back to the original framework or the structures of Quest that we talked about earlier, and hopefully after Sandra's talk as well, you're more clear on how we sit and how we're embedded within the TMRN with our partnerships with Quintet and TrialForge. And then looking at the working groups were set up after the original launch of Quest, and they have been pivotal to getting us to where we are today. And we are looking for people to get involved. We are looking for more working group members. The teams that are in place at the moment are having to work really hard, and there is capacity for more people to join us and get involved. And I'll just briefly show you how you can get involved. Our qualitative research advisors, again, as Andrew said, the fact that we have the opportunity to link people up. So you are doing a trial, you have specific needs, come talk to us, and then we can say, well, we have this person who's ideally suited, or this person that has this topic expertise, this person with this methodological expertise, and creating these sort of bespoke packages that will fit your trial or suit your needs as well. So we want to be able to do that on an individual basis, based on the trial and based on the needs of the trial. So I'm going to work from the bottom up in terms of how to join the mailing list. We don't have as many as the TMRN, so we're going to aspire to have as many as the TMRN on our mailing list, where you will receive the newsletter, the email alerts, learn about our education events, our research activities, what our partners are getting up to, and what we are doing as a Quest team. So we will let you know, and again, as Sean mentioned, the power of Twitter, that we can share our recent publications, share our publications relating to trials, to trial methodologies, and our qualitative research publications as well. I'm actually in the process of writing one about transition to adult services in a different context as well, so hopefully that will be in the pipeline. You want to get involved a little bit more, you have qualitative expertise, you've published on qualitative methodologies, you've worked with qualitative methodologies, and you have that willingness and capacity to collaborate and work with researchers conducting clinical trials. We would love to increase our database of qualitative advisors, people that we can call on and say, this is the topic, or this is the methodology that's required. We know you have that expertise. Are you willing to get involved? And we've had recent examples of that, where a study has a particular topic, but also is looking for specific aspects of qualitative research that we know one of our qualitative research advisors had. Again, as Andrew said, like the dating agency, we put them in contact, let them negotiate the particulars themselves based on, again, a very individual basis, and all of that comes under the Quest umbrella, and Quest will get recognition for that as the project progresses. So it is a CTED application which runs through the HRB TMRN. So if you visit either of the websites, and you will be guided to if you want to become a qualitative research advisor, you'll be guided through the application process. So then people visiting the TMRN or Quest will be able to access your details through us. So it would never be a cold call as such. It would happen through through us, and we would kind of make that connection. You mentioned, would you like to join one of our working groups? So we have 3 working groups at the moment: the Education and Training Working Group, Marketing and Communication, and Research Working Group. And we've met recently to talk about not only what we expect of our working group members, but also what they can hope to gain from being a working group member, and just to kind of enhance that reciprocal relationship, really, and make it a collective, interactive, motivated group of people who really believe in what we're doing here at Quest. And we've really seen that even over the last few weeks since our last meeting. People have really rallied and shown how much Quest means to them. So in the Education and Working Group, and we have more detailed kind of, I suppose, outline of, first of all, what you would be expected to do if you joined a working group, and more importantly, what you would hope to gain by joining a working group, and that we can share that information at a later time. but it's about looking at the webinar and workshop events. So identifying potential speakers, identifying potential topics, and actually planning and delivering those workshops, getting used to the different technologies. And again, I would have been lost without the Educational Working Group today, trying to figure out how to even record this event. So I'm so grateful to them. Meeting other working group members, opportunities to network again with leading figures, making those connections and getting to meet people. I mean, I was, Andrew will remember, I was quite in awe of meeting Pat Beasley, having read all the books, having, followed her guidance, having, and then to actually be in a room with her, getting to meet these people, Alex Clark, it's really exciting to have those contacts. And the day-to-day running of webinars, again with the help of the HRBTMRN, using the technology, WebEx, Eventbrite, all the recording systems that I have but don't know how to use. So there's a lot to be gained from, hopefully, and Elaine is testament to that, for being involved in the education. Again, Marisha, Pauline has left unfortunately, but the team, the marketing and communication team, increasing the awareness of what we do, increasing awareness of the brand, how we package ourselves and what we're selling, I guess, at the end of the day, looking for funding opportunities, and this is really important to link in with the research group. Where is the potential opportunity for us to get actively involved and collaborate in research, looking at those national, international funding opportunities, and meeting and engaging again with other people involved in Quest, both here in Galway and And Andrew's just going to talk briefly about the research working group. Again, quite a cluttered slide. We were trying to do a less is more, but sometimes you're afraid to leave too much out.
I mean, again, going back to what I was saying earlier, this idea that we're all focused on research, but the other activities support this, and Linda Beastie, who can't be here today unfortunately, leads up the research group, and it is this case of we need to identify opportunities, we need to work with marketing, we need to work across the working groups to ensure that we can be there for bids and that we're there for them. Anyone working within the working group will have an opportunity to see, with any of the working groups in fact, will have an opportunity to see the activity of the advisors, to support the qualitative advisors. So a model would typically be that perhaps a qualitative advisor negotiates, organises the bid, pulls it together to get to the bid. When successful, then that goes out within Quest to see who's actually going to be working on this, what's the opportunity. So it's a great, again, across the working groups, it's a great opportunity for people to come in and develop their expertise, see how a bid goes in, see how a complex intervention progresses. Look at the bones on that, look at the meat on that, and think, how are these complex questions answered. I'll not take long on this, but that transition, the question of transition, the mental health background, the people we lose in between CAMS services and adult services, and the number of questions that raises, the vast number of questions. Well, we have a school, we have a college, we have various departments filled with people with great expertise in skillfully answering these complex research questions qualitatively. It's about linking those aspects together. How can that question be answered? How do we go about doing that? And I think that's the role, not just for the research working group, but for all of the working groups to try and hit that. And this idea that we can meet someone like Pat Beasley, we can meet someone like Jenny Donovan, we can meet people who really have great expertise in these areas. We can link up with them, we can gain from their expertise and the expertise that we had today on all aspects of this. Developing skills in bids and really learning about the potential. How do we hit national funding bids to better our core, to better the terms of interventions and moving this agenda forward. And that's us, almost time-ish to time. And again, I just want to thank Caroline and Carmel again, who travelled today. I want to thank Sean, Sandra for speaking to us today, and everyone for attending either earlier today or today, and indeed all the hard work that's gone into the working groups across the piece.
We are really grateful to everybody's hard work.
Any questions from anyone at this point? late in the day. Please be aware that there are refreshments upstairs.
Yes,
yeah,
there's
in the
drinks
coffee dock.
and things to eat up in the coffee dock.
Yeah.
So we'd love it if you come and join us. Some of the people from the school will hopefully join us as well. And yeah, if anybody's interested in joining working groups or anything, please let us know. And thanks again.
Thank you. Thanks.